Gilbert. Welcome to my live call tonight, and it comes with a question. Does your team need speed? Do you need speed? For those of you that do not know me, I've been involved in network marketing now for over 40 years. Yes, it hasn't killed me. I started in this business totally broke, sold a junk truck to get started, put $200 into my business, and ever since then, the last 27 years, I've been full-time in network marketing. If that still interests you, keep listening. Speed was the subject tonight. Some people have asked me a little bit about, hey, Giovanni in London. Interesting story about Giovanni, and he remembers this very well. How did me and Giovanni meet? He's in London. Well, it so happened that I was staying at a hotel by Kensington Palace, and my wife and I were over there last year. We spent some time in Ireland, and then we decided to go to London, and we stayed at a very nice hotel across from Kensington Palace. Well, right down the street was a coffee shop, and that's where I say observed because I did not know him, Giovanni. So I was getting a cup of coffee, and I saw he was sitting at a table next to me, and I was observing him, and very quickly I realized he's in network marketing, and he's doing a presentation to a guy, right? He's talking to the prospect. And so I didn't know what company he's in, it didn't matter. Anyway, Veronica in Arkansas, good to see you. And so I just watched Giovanni. He just, and I remember him saying to the man, well, I want to show you a video. And the man said, how long is this video going to be? And Giovanni said, no, not long, let's just watch it together, And that's exactly what they did. Well, I was enjoying the whole thing because I thought, well, this is so cool. Because I've been doing network marketing for 40 years, 27 years full time, right? And here I'm sitting in London at a coffee shop, and next to me I'm watching this guy who I don't know, Giovanni, do a presentation, and then finally, and Giovanni is actually new to network marketing, and totally new to network marketing. So I actually decided to help him out with this guy. I didn't even know what company's in. I was going to help him out. And so then I basically edified what Giovanni was saying to the guy. And I told the guy, I said, look, I've been doing this for 40 years. And I'm going to tell you, this is the real thing. And I just said some, really upbuilding things to support Giovanni. And we added one another to Facebook. Remember, I teach you guys to do that. When you're out in public and you meet people that you may never see again, why on earth would you ever let that prospect go? Add one another into your Facebook page, right? And that's what I did. And so I added Giovanni, and you see he's on my call tonight, see? So that's how it works, man. So that's how you stay in touch, and you can message one another on Facebook Messenger and all that. Eduardo, nice to see you from Miami. And that's how you do it. And Mary from New Jersey. And then Wynn, good to see you. in, in the Philippines. Good to see you. So that's how I met Giovanni. Totally cool guy. And he's an artist too, man. I mean, this guy's got a long hair, beard. He's just, he looks like an artist. What can I say? But an artist who's doing network marketing at the same time. Met him in London at a coffee shop. And that's what I'm telling you guys is get to know the people that you're around when you're in public places. Take advantage of it and reach out to them. So, why do we need speed in network marketing? Why is that important? Just think about this. If you live in New York City and you want to go clear to, let's say, San Francisco, there's a number of ways that you can go. You can walk there. That's going to take a lot of time walking to San Francisco from New York City, okay? It's going to take months, right? Or you could get on a bicycle. That's shorter, right? Much quicker than walking. But probably a car is going to be much quicker, isn't it? Because then you can be there in a few days. Or you could just get on a plane and be there in a few hours. It's the same destination, isn't it? But it's the methods that you choose that make the difference. And when we think about network marketing, we think about speed, it really comes down to that. What are going to be the methods that will collapse the process of time much quicker so that we can get what we want to do accomplished? Isn't that really what we want to do in network marketing? I mean, some people come into this business with the slow, steady approach. The problem with the slow, steady approach is the people that are in your team are going to get very bored and they're going to quit. And that's what happens too often, is that they just get bored with the slow, steady approach. Slow, steady doesn't work. What works is getting things done. For example, I brought this up a few times, but it's appropriate tonight with this subject to talk about it. Here, again, I talked about Giovanni, who I met in London, and then here's a girl from China that went to a Tony Robbins event, and we went out to dinner, a group of us, and I got to know her and talk to her. And then I said, you can't go back to China because of the coronavirus. Why don't you just come and stay with us and learn about network marketing? She's never been involved in network marketing before. And she was very interested. She understood affiliate marketing. She, in fact, had a girl that she coached. Hey, Josh, there's a girl that she coached in China, and this girl's doing millions of dollars in WeChat, and she's in her early 20s, young girl. And so she said, well, I've seen how that girl rocks out, and she's just selling a healthy snack. That's all she's selling. She's doing millions of dollars on WeChat. And so when she told me, she said, so you're in affiliate marketing? And I said, yeah, I am. And then that's when I made her the invitation. If you want to learn about what I'm doing and what's going on, come on over and stay with us. Well, and her parents from China were saying, you don't even know these people. Well, hey, if they go to a Tony Robbins event, man, they got to be cool, right? So she came over here. Long story short, in the last, it took her 12 days to build, to go to the third position in a compensation plan. She passed the first, passed the second, landed on the third in 12 days, and did that when, I don't know what her numbers are today, but as of yesterday, she was at 91 people in her team. And this is a girl, excuse me, this is a girl that's never been involved in network marketing, ever, friends. So again, that is speed. Now, how did that happen? Well, the one thing I talked to her about is speed is everything. I said, when you begin your business, you begin a story. You begin a story. So what is going to be your story? What are you going to get done in the first 30 days? What are you going to get done in the second 30 days? What are you going to get done in the third 30 days in your 90-day plan? If you got my book, Reaching the Peak, it's on Amazon, Reaching the Peak, I talk about my 90-day plan. And that was one thing I did, was I talked to her about what I did. And I said, you know, my first 90 days, I went at this very strong because I had to set the standard to the team. What is the standard? The standard is speed. Success loves speed. What is that? Remember that line in Top Gun, Tom Cruise said? He said, I have a need for speed. And that's the thing. So I had to show to my leaders that they need to have a story that shows they have speed in their business. And only then, and then only, will their leaders match that speed. If we go the slow, steady approach, they're going to go slow, steady. Of course, they're going to get bored and they're going to drop off, right? And that's not what we want. We need speed. And so that's what, you know, this young girl, I impressed that upon her, and she took off with, you know, she said, hey, look, no offense, but I'm going to break your records. Because in 90 days, I had 800 people in my team. She said, I'm going to break that record. Well, I have to say, she did. Her first 12 days, she did break my record. She did. She said, well, I'm not done breaking yet. So, so let's talk about that again. You know, we got to create that sense of urgency. And that's what I did with her. I said, you have to approach this with a sense of urgency. You have to create a culture of urgency in your people. Because if they think this opportunity is going to be just as good a year from now, they're not going to have any speed. So it's like finding out one of the hottest stocks on Wall Street. I mean, it's going to be hot. It's going to go ballistic. You have an opportunity, buy low and watch it go high. It's that kind of sense of urgency you come into it. Think about it. I mean, if you had a fire that just happened in your house, are you going to run an ad in the newspaper and say, hey, can somebody come help me put this out? No, you're going to go right outside the door, go to the neighbor, say, I need your help. I need your help. That's right, because you have a sense of urgency. And that's what you got to create in your team culture. So here's some things, you know, we got to keep in mind. When people join you, they are in the romance phase. It's like nothing can go wrong. It's like perfect. I mean, you guys know this. You girls know this. When you met Mr. Right or Mrs. Right, the girl that you're with, the guy that you're with, how did you feel? I mean, you were hot for that person. It's like nothing could go wrong. This person, I mean, she sets the moon, right? It's like, oh my gosh, if I could just spend the rest of my life with that person, there's nothing, you don't see anything wrong in this picture, right? When people join you in the business, that's the way they feel. They feel, wow, my dreams can come true. I can't believe this thing called network marketing. Carrie from Australia, nice to see you. It's like nothing can go wrong. You know, I now see a pathway of achieving the very things I wanted to do in life. You know, things that I've been putting off, and now I can do this through network marketing. So they start really, you know, that's the romance phase. That's the romance phase. That's the time you got to make it happen. That's the reason why you need speed. Because when they're in that state, and state is everything, then anything can be accomplished. Just like a girl like that, who can put in just in 12 days, almost 100 people, create a team in several different countries. She did that, not just China. Well, she's got a team in the UK, a team in Australia. I'm just saying that can happen. But you got to do it when they're in that state. That's the time to do it. So step one is you need to get something positive happening. When you sponsor somebody, you got to get something positive happening in their business that very first week. I prefer it be the first 72 hours. Get something positive happening with that person. That means you're going to help them fill out that list, that prospect list, and go and talk to them about that list. Make sure they're not prejudging people, that they, you know, what you want them to do is you want to find out who they know. What did Think and Grow Rich say? Think and Grow Rich, if you ever read that book. And it said there's been more mind harvested more gold harvested out of the human mind than out of the mountains. More gold harvested or taken out of the human mind than out of the mountains. So the thing about it is, you want to find out who they know, and they know some incredible people. Matter of fact, I was having a conversation with that young girl today about a particular leader. She said, well, that leader doesn't move. I said, doesn't matter. That leader has influence. That leader knows a lot of people. That leader has gold in her mind. It's a matter of you getting it out of her brain, okay? And that's the thing. For example, I can remember a woman that was on my front line that I sponsored, about 20 years ago. And Mindy, nice to see you. I called that woman. I said, hey, you're not moving. What's happening? Come on. You know you can do this. She said, well, it's that kind of story. And I said, listen, you've been in network marketing companies before, so who do you know? Come on, give me the name of somebody that really, in your opinion, she's a rock star. Who would that be? And she said, well, and keep in mind, even if they're not in networking, it doesn't matter. Leadership is influence. So if she was never in network marketing, I would ask that question. Who do you know in your lifetime that seemed to have a lot of influence over people? Mover and shaker, makes things happen. Who would that person be? And so she brought out a name of someone, and she said, but she's not interested. I already talked to her. Now, most people would stop there and say, yeah, you're right. Who else you got on your list? But I don't do things that way. I understood that she was weak. She wasn't strong yet. So because she's not strong, how could she bring in somebody that's a mover and shaker, right? And that's the reason why new people need your help. And so I said, well, what's her phone number? I'll call her up and see, just ask her a few questions, see if she's open. And that's exactly what I did. Long story short, I went and I had lunch with that woman. Long story short, she came in the business. And, to the tune of like $2 million a month of business she's doing every month, rocking it out. A woman who that other woman had given up on. But again, I knew she had gold in her brain. I just want to mine it out. I want to take it out. I want to find out who she knows. So you've got to get good at asking questions on new people that you sponsor. I mean, the older they are, the more people that they know in their lifetime, the more relationships they've had in their lifetime. You want to find out who do they know, and then tap into that, and then help that person by reaching out to them, even if you got to do it yourself. In my case, I made the phone call. I don't care. I'm going to get paid on it too, right? You're going to get paid on it. What do you care? So I'm not waiting until she can get the strength to finally call her back and try to do a second presentation. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cut to the chase. She's got somebody that's a mover and shaker. I want to talk to that person. So just understand this, that again, you got to get something happening. And so since I did, by the way, she stepped it up. She went ahead and sponsored another leg of someone else that she knew out of Korea that was very strong. Then she went ahead and put a third leg in Africa. And so as long as I've known her, I mean, this is a woman that's rocking out a very, very, strong, double, triple digit, six-figure income. And she's sitting on a farm in Ontario, Canada. She doesn't go to any of these countries, but I mean, she built an incredible business and reaps an incredible residual income. So what did I do? I got something positive happening with her as soon as I could. That's the key. Success loves speed. I've got to get this person moving. When you bring people in, you get them moving. It's a who do you know? Who do you know? Who has potential that you know? Let's get on that list. Talk to me about that list. Let's talk about these people that you know. I don't want them going to their Facebook and announcing everybody they just joined, one of these companies. Anyway, I don't want them doing that. They're going to blow the deal. So I want that that list. I want them to go over that with me, talk to me about that, and then I'm going to help them. Now here's the step two. Step two is system. If you want to have speed, you're going to have system, a system that people can work. Now let me ask you this. When you look at your business and you look at your upline and the way they do it or the way they teach it, are they people dependent or system dependent? What's the difference? Well, if they're people dependent, that means that there's some rock star that's going to do the meeting, conduct a, meeting. Yes, people do meetings. For those of you that are so used to doing stuff online, keep in mind, if you never get outside the United States, you won't know this, right? But even in the United States, they do meetings too. Especially Spanish. Spanish love meetings. They love to get together. So I never tell anybody that what you're doing is wrong. No, if that's part of your culture, if that's part of your system, that's part of your system. Okay. But here's the just understand some of the challenges in a system like that is what if the person who does an incredible job doing the presentation when people come to that meeting doesn't show up? Now what's going to happen? And you just brought the most important person to that meeting. You finally got him to come and Mr. Rockstar didn't show up. You're going to have to do that meeting. Are you ready to do that? Do you know how to do that? Have you ever done anything like that before? I mean, I can remember the days in the late 1990s, 1999, anyway, when I was so used to conference calls. A decade earlier, I was used to doing meetings, traveling all over the United States, Canada, doing meetings. But I loved it when conference calling, happened, and then I was doing conference calling, and I was building teams from my house. I thought that was so cool, and it was cool. But then when I went overseas to Asia, guess what? Even though they have technology just like we do, their culture is face-to-face, do meetings. You go to Seoul, Korea, where it's like New York City, you got millions of people living in Seoul, and they got technology that, in my opinion, is more advanced than the United States in many ways. Their smartphones, their websites, their internet, everything that they use, but they still want to do things face to face and they want to do meetings. It's just the culture. Okay, fine. But I can remember when I went over there for the first time, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm back doing meetings again. Hadn't been doing meetings in years. Okay, so the thing about it is, if we're doing meetings, then again, we have to duplicate and pull people out of the chairs and also get them involved in doing meetings. That's what you have to do with your leaders. You're not going to be the official rock star. You're going to have to duplicate what you do to others, and you do that by talking to them before the meeting, working with them before the meeting, explaining what they have to do, and it might be just one small part of it. They might want to introduce, if you have a PowerPoint, they might want to introduce the profession of network marketing. You show them, say, you're going to cover the first 7 slides, and then after that, you can go sit down. And then I'm going to bring somebody up who's going to introduce the products. And then they're going to just cover that, and then they're going to go sit down. And then I'm going to introduce maybe someone else that's going to explain a little bit about how you make money. And then that's it, we wrap it up. But you're going to rotate that out. If you do that, then you have a system in place. And that's one thing I'd recommend. Now, if your system is online, then that's fine too. But what are you going to do with that system? What is that system? If a system is more than 3 or 4 steps, it's complicated. It's complicated. If it's more than 3 or 4 steps, I have to suspect that your upline wants to sell their tools because they have this secret. But tonight we got a deal. You can get it for $20 less. Okay? They like to profit from it. Okay? I'm not into any of that nonsense. You know how we profit? We profit by building teams. That's where your money should come from. It shouldn't come from all these different tools and books and secrets that they must have in order to do the business. You should have an onboarding video, and those are best placed in a Facebook group. So when you add people to your group, product group, business group, or if it's just one, that's fine. Then in your learning units, make sure your leaders know where the onboarding video is. So when somebody new joins, send them that onboarding video. And the onboarding video should be nice and short. Because guess what? You're just going to want to tell them what they need to do their first week, their first month in the business. Nothing beyond that. Nothing beyond that. They don't need to know anything else. They don't need to get on your Rockstar Upline's Facebook training that he's going to do on a Facebook Live to inspire them, to teach them the art of social attraction and what, you want to ruin it? That's the way to do it. Just do that. You want to kill a team? Do that. Just do it. Let them start shifting from warm market to now, we're going to do it. We're going to show you how to teach attraction marketing, build a team through Facebook, Instagram, whatever. I'm telling you, they'll starve to death. They will fail doing that because it takes time. Marketing takes time. Warm market is like fast. A girl just joins in 12 days. She's got 90 people in her downline. She didn't do that through Facebook. She didn't do that through social media. She did that through warm market because that's what I taught her. Warm market. People that's instant income. Instant income. Again, success loves speed. I want her earning something fast. I want her to see something fast. That's how I lock her in. That's how I lock anybody in. But, some people they get it wrong because they look at these rock stars, they're doing well in their companies. Well, let me tell you, a lot of those people dumped a lot of money into getting a lot of exposure out there. I mean, they did it. They did that over a period of months, years, of course, years mostly, but they dumped a lot of money into it. It's not duplicatable, friends. It's not duplicatable. We got to get real. We got to get real. This is a people business. And so if warm market is not our approach, if relationships aren't important, and we're going to teach people that they got to, this is what you got to do, just understand, don't be surprised when you look back and you don't have a team following you anymore. Because what we taught them to do is something is simply not do. Does that mean you don't ever get involved in social media? Sure you do. Sure you can. But I want them earning money. I want them having success. And in their first 6 months to maybe even a year, they need to focus on that warm market. Those people that they know. That's where they need to go. Anybody who teaches different from that is a fool. And we're selling hope. We're selling hope. The very thing we're being accused of. And I don't sell hope. I sell a plan. I sell a plan. And that is the plan. And it works because I got proof positive right down below me that it does. That it does work that way. So that's the thing. Have a system. Don't have them people dependent. Have them system dependent. System means they don't need me. If I go off this deck, go 3 stories down, I'm not alive after that. Okay, guess what? The team can move on because they have a system. And so, again, with that system, onboarding video, add them to your Facebook group, onboarding video. Then what is the official prospecting video? What do you use? If you got, we got several videos. No, you don't. What is the official video? If you got several videos, that's not a system. That's called confusion. Confusion. Hey, look at this video. And when you get done, look at this video. Here's another link. And after that, here's another link. And here's another link. It's complicated, and people's lives are already complicated. They don't need more crazy on top of crazy. What's your official video? Okay? So, and then after that, have a good follow-up. Teach them how to have a good follow-up. Work with work with their sponsor. If you're the sponsor, they should be working with you. You should be working with them, guiding them their first week, their first month in the business. Be there with them. Help them out. You know, one thing I did even with this girl, some of the people that really stepped up and started building teams, she would have me say, hey, can you do a welcome video to this woman? Congratulate her on this. Okay, sure, I can do that. Okay, now as soon as we finish that, here we have another girl. Can you now congratulate her for doing this? I said, yeah, I can do that. Okay, it's like video after video after video, and she's just pumping those things out, pumping them out, pumping them out. What does it do? Throws more fire on the team. It ignites them even more. I mean, they're getting excited about this business. Why? Because that's another aspect of what I'm talking about. How we build speed is through recognition. People will join you for money, but what keeps them is being valued. What keeps them is recognition. When they see that we value them, when we pour on the praise, then it's like they want to do more. They want to accomplish more. And so that's the thing. Make sure that's part of your system. Recognize them to the team. She's got them all in a WeChat, and that's what they use in China. And whether it's WeChat or WhatsApp or in your Facebook groups, just do that. Pour on that recognition. If you can, show their photos, say something about them, send them, like I just said, a personal video. Those are pretty powerful. That gets people fired up when you do that. And so then, and you can also put it in a PDF too in your group, in a learning unit if you want, on the onboarding system. Again, give them an activity example of what to do. And let me tell you what I think is the best thing. And the best thing is whatever your leadership, the first position in your compensation plan. Let's say if it had, if it has 2,000 or 3,000 points or dollars, whatever you want to call it, whatever that position is, that person needs to understand that's the only position that matters. Sure, everybody wants to go to the top. That doesn't exist, and that's not important. That first leadership position is important. And then once so show them a roadmap how to get there. A roadmap. If you can show them a roadmap, hello, Arthur, how to get there, and you should. In other words, if you give them an activity example of, sponsor a few who sponsor a few, okay, and get them doing this, and then repeat that process, this is the end result. You get what I'm talking about. Everybody's comp plan is different. Everybody's company is different, so I can't give you an exact plan. You should know the plan. And if you don't, talk to your upline. If they don't, keep going up. If they don't, then come see me. I'll look at your plan and tell you what it should be. Anyway, but the point is, you show them a roadmap how to get to that first position. Let's say that first position's diamond. We'll just throw a diamond out. That's a popular networking term for leadership positions. So you show them that roadmap to get to diamond. Once they get to that first leadership position called diamond, now what do? Because they want to go to the next position, just like that girl did, right? Well, here's how you get to that next position. Those people that are below you in your team, you help them do the same thing. In other words, if you want to get to that next position, you do it by mining diamonds. Mining diamonds. If you want to get to the third position, mine more diamonds. If you want to get to the fourth position, teach your organization to mine more diamonds. You cannot go to the top until you know how to do it at the bottom. You cannot go to the top until you know how to do it at the bottom. The wealth is at the bottom. It's not at the top. But what happens is it organically pushes you up. And so the more you can get people involved with that mindset, forget the top. Understand the wealth is at the bottom. And so if the first leadership, let's say, position's called diamond, teach people how to mine a lot of those diamonds. You want to go to the next position? get everybody to mine more diamonds. They're moving up organically. You're moving up organically. That's how it's done. So you got to create the fire at the bottom and at that first leadership position. And that's the only thing I talk about. Matter of fact, that's the most valuable position in your compensation plan. Whatever your compensation plan is, that first leadership position that is recognized by your company is that position. That's the only position in the plan that matters if you want to go to the top. If we keep talking about our great upline, who's a triple diamond, ruby, sapphire, whatever, okay, nobody's going to do anything. It's just like pie in the sky, the man's on the moon, fishing. I mean, it's not believable. But if we teach people how to get to that first position, and because of experience, they know how to do it. Now they know how to teach it to those people who are not there. And then we get those people doing the same thing to teach it to people who are not there. And we get them to teach it to people who are not there. And you drive it like that. That's why I say the wealth is at the bottom. The wealth is at that first position. That is the most important position. You develop that mindset. You teach your leaders to do the same. You will make a lot of money in network marketing because everything we're teaching is believable. It's doable. Anybody can do it. Anybody can hit that first position. And if you got a roadmap, and a activity example to show them how to do it, most important. And we're not talking about huge volume here. We're not talking about anything huge. We're just talking about helping them to make that experience, that first $500 to $1,000, and do it. Why not do it in their first month? Why not? Somebody says, well, it's never done that way in our company. Well, then good. Then you be the example and have a system that isn't dependent on you that will show them how to do that. Just keep those basic steps. Monkey see, monkey do. You do the invitation. Hey, how you doing? See if they're open to looking at what you have. Second base, it's like baseball, right? Second base, the presentation. Third base, discuss any questions that they have, anything they're not clear on, and then bring them home, sign them up. There is no other steps. We don't need any more steps. And the people that want to create it just want to profit from it. And I'm not into selling books and tapes. And yes, I do have a book on Amazon. Buy it if you want, okay? I just share my journey on that, I'm not making a ton of money from that book. But that book I do have my 90-day plan in it. But I'm just saying that, if you follow that and keep it that way, you're going to have speed in your team. You're going to have speed in your team, and that's really what you want, don't you? Because again, slow and steady, you'll never keep people. They'll quit you. They'll leave you. So step one is getting something happening fast with that person that you brought in, and teach your people to do the same. They must have urgency in their business. Urgency makes things happen. Fast makes things, just excites people. And then second, have a system. Have a system so they're not people dependent. They're system dependent. Third, create that value, that recognition that you pour on with people. And they're going to stay with you. Those are the three areas I was going to share tonight. And I hope you guys are doing great in what you're doing wherever you are in this world. It's been fun being with you tonight and sharing this with you. Speed is everything. And I'll tell you, the go slow is torture. I just don't do that. I just don't believe in the go slow. You launch when you think about it. If we were talking about the shuttle, does the go slow and steady work with the shuttle? Never. I mean, they exhaust 90% of their fuel just escaping gravity. They give it all, everything that they have, and that's how they launch. When you get your business moving, that's what you got to do. You got to pour it on. And every day you've got your priorities. You're focused on what you've got to do. And if you wonder what that is, well, what's the most important things that need to happen right now? For your business to be the kind of business that you dreamed of it being, what's got to happen? Start writing it down. Know your priorities. That's the thing. And matter of fact, this young girl that I mentioned earlier, she said, you know what? I'll go to the top position in your plan. I'll do it in less than a year. Well, to do that, she's going to have 1 million points and 3 legs with 250,000 points in each to do that. You know what though? She believes it. We can't do anything we don't believe. We have to decide what our goals are, and everybody's different. I get that. Not everybody is as driven, maybe as she is, or as I was when I started 21 years ago. I had a lot to drive me. I had some strong forces, and but for those of you that do, just understand that's how you do it. Here's the mistake that a lot of people make, and I see this all the time in network marketing. The junkies that some mistakenly call rock stars, okay? They'll get in a company that has a hot product. Like, let's just say CBD oil, right? CBD, it's like, right? Big, everywhere you go in towns now, you see CBD oil, get it here, get it here, get it here. But you remember when it was first being introduced, okay? So then they had a massive climb in growth, right? Here's the mistake that leaders make. They start thinking that this massive growth that took off with their product is because they're so talented, because they're so incredible, and because of how they do the business. It's just, that's the reason why we're having this incredible growth. And then what happens is it had nothing to do with them. It had to do with public appeal for a product. That was it. They were simply like a surfer in Hawaii, right? They paddled out with their surfboard. All they had to do was ride the wave. And that's what these people will do. They'll get on that wave and then they say, I'm so awesome. I'm so great because look at this wave, I just created it. No, you didn't create that. Nature created that wave. You just got on a board. Now you're getting ready to hit the beach. You're not on that wave anymore. And what happens with some of these companies is then they'll plateau. The perception might change. I'm not saying it will with CBD oil. So I'm just giving you an example of a product wave. But then, you might have competition. Somebody might say, well, my CBD is better because it's grown in Colorado. So, no, mine's better because it's grown in Kentucky. Whatever the reason is. But the point is, out there in the marketplace, all products go through this. They go through, I'm talking about products that do well, that do very well. They'll go through a concentration phase, then they'll go into momentum, and then they'll go through either at that point like a plateau, and then they'll go into stability, to stabilize their market, their product sales, or it'll go in decline, one or the other. Now, what's going to get it growing again will be system. See, a lot of the leaders thought it was because they're so great, they're so awesome, they're so wonderful. That's the reason why we're where we are. No, it was because of your product, my friend. Now you have to get a system if you want to stay in business. Now you got to get a system where you can teach people how to make money. Because while you were growing, at the same time, you lost a lot of people. You lost a lot of people for lack of system. So we got to live in reality, not in Alice in Wonderland, right? And some people in network marketing just don't get that. They don't get that. And then what they do is they say, something's wrong with our company's screwed up. I got to find something else. It's like a cocaine habit. They're looking for that next ride. And most cases, it never happens. And then they jump from company to company. I know one guy, I love him to death. Oh my gosh, he's been in like 6 companies in the last 2 years. I'm like, what is up, man? You're talented, but you got a cocaine habit, you know? You're just looking for that wave. It's not about the wave. It's about your leadership. It's about your leadership. Can you teach this business to someone and show them how to make money with it and duplicate that in a system? Can you do that? Are you a real leader? Or are you just looking for something that has nothing to do with you? You're looking for that next magic ride. You're probably not going to find it. That's the reason why they jump. So I hope you got some value out of this tonight, and appreciate all of you guys getting on tonight. And Brandy said, what was the name of that book? It's called Reaching the Peak. No doubt George will put a link in his comments on this video, but it's called Reaching the Peak on Amazon. And by the way, it's coming out in Spanish in March. I heard from my publisher. That's very exciting to know that she has everything in place now. It's going to be in paperback as well as Kindle version, digital. So that's going to be cool. So excited about that. Thank you so much. All of you have a wonderful evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.